Chapter 2. Potential Unleashed. The years on Namek stretched in ways I hadn't expected. What began as a simple agreement with Nail to train in exchange for protection became the foundation of a new life. 22 years had gone by. I arrived as a child barely old enough to walk out of the crater's edge, and now at 25 my body had been honed by relentless training and the scion blood that demanded growth. Through conflict had instead been honed through focus, meditation, and combat training. Nail had become more than a mentor. He was a brother in arms, a patient teacher who tolerated my cyan temper and my occasional slips into the strange instincts that didn't quite belong to this universe. I never told the full truth about myself, about the stone, the lives I'd lived before this one, or about Farron waiting somewhere across realities. Some secrets were too heavy, even for a warrior as steadfast as Nail was. Our training started the day I arrived at his village. The Namekians lived simply, their homes carved from the living rock, or grown from the planet's abundant life energy. I was given a small dwelling near Nail's, and the villagers regarded me with wary curiosity at first. A Saiyan among them. The stories of my people's conquests had reached even this distant world. But Nail vouched for me and my willingness to help with chores, anything from hauling massive stone blocks to clearing aggressive flora that threatened the crops. Slowly earned their trust. Ki isn't just power, Nail explained during our first real session, floating cross-legged above the grassy plains. It is life, breath, will. Feel it inside you, Jinjera. I had asked him to use my Saiyan name when we trained. Merida was for quieter moments, for the parts of me that still ached for home. Jinjera reminded me of the fire I needed to survive in this universe. I closed my eyes and reached inward. The Ki was there, wild and eager, like a caged beast. Saiyan physiology made it almost intuitive. I could already sense the energy flowing through my veins, responding to emotion. But control, that was another matter. Nail guided me through basic exercises, concentrating Ki into my palms until they glowed, then releasing it in controlled bursts against stone pillars. I learned quickly, perhaps a little too quickly. My first real Ki blast shattered a boulder the size of a house and sent me tumbling backward from the recoil that I hadn't expected to happen. Nail laughed, a rare sound from the stoic warrior. You have the power, not the experience. Again, we trained for hours each day. I focused my Kias into attacks, concussive blasts that could level small hills, and energy waves that cut through the air like blades. Bit for movement and defense, I leaned on what I already knew. The yellow sun of Namek, though different from Earth's, still fed the Kryptonian heritage woven into my soul across reincarnations. I could fly without Ki propulsion if I wanted to, soaring on sheer solar charge strength alone, and my skin shrugged off the planet's harshest impacts. Rocks that would pulverize a normal Saiyan at my age barely left bruises on me. It would take time to absorb enough yellow sunlight to be back at my peak again. But for now, Namek was a safe enough place to drink it all in. You're holding back, Nail observed one evening as we sparred under the soft blue sky. He moved like liquid, his antennae twitching as he readied my energy. His fist connected with my midsection hard enough to make me grunt. But I didn't budge me. I'm not, I replied, grinning as I countered with a Ki-infused palm strike that sent him skidding across the grass. This is me, using what I have. He recovered quickly and dusted himself off. Your body and unnaturally tough, even for a Saiyan. Where does that come from? I shrugged, wiping sweat from my brow as my tail swayed lazily behind me. Lucky genetics, I guess. The lie tasted bitter on my tongue, but the truth was too complicated. How do you explain being a multiversal anomaly stitched together from Kryptonian, divine, and ancient powers to someone who's never known anything but a single planet? As months turned to years, our routine deepened. Mornings were for physical conditioning, running across the vast plains until my legs burned, climbing the towering stone pillars that dotted the landscape, and wrestling massive lizard, like beasts that roamed the wilds and sparring. The Saiyan in me thrilled at every clash. My blood sang with each injury that healed and made me stronger. Zenkai boosts came frequently in those early years. Evenings were usually focused on meditation and shadowboxing. Even these simple exercises helped me retrain my focus. Thankfully, my time in the Star Wars universe had helped me maintain composure, even during the most intense training Nail put me through. These 2 decades helped to bring all of the training and combat experience together, stitching me day by day into a fighter who was hyper-tuned into her environment and her opponents. "You're changing," Nail said after an especially intense sparring session, as we sat by a calm blue-green lake. The twin lines of the flickering light from Namek's dual suns danced overhead, like silent guardians. "Not just stronger, you're more focused." I trailed my fingers in the water, watching my reflection. My hair was long and wild, a darker crimson than its normal vibrant red. I rarely braided it during this time, allowing it to hang free the same way I was allowing myself to live. Scars from the training faded quickly, thanks to my hybrid physiology. But the ones in my heart, the longing to return home, always lingered. I have to be, something's coming. Nail didn't press. He never would. Instead, he taught me finer ki control, so that I could be more efficient in my use of ki. I learned to suppress my power level when needed, to mask my presence among the villagers. I could still unleash devastating blasts, but I practiced threading ki like a needle in precise beams that pierced targets without collateral damage, and to create barriers around my body for short bursts. Invulnerability eventually became my quiet advantage. During a training accident where Nail's full-powered Masenko, like attack, slammed into me, the energy washed over my skin like warm rain. "That should have hurt you," he muttered as he stared in disbelief, as I emerged from the cloud laughing. "It tickled," I teased, though inside I was noting the limits of what I could handle at the moment. The years brought quiet moments too. I helped villagers expand their settlements and cultivate new fields. In the evenings I would sit with the elders and share stories, not of my past lives, but of distant stars, and the warrior race I came from. They taught me their ways, the gentle cultivation of life energy, the harmony with the planet. It softened some of my Scion edges, though the battle hunger never fully left. I missed Farron terribly during this time. At night, when the twin moons rose, I would fly to a secluded pillar and stare at the stars, willing a portal to open or a sign to appear. The feelings that had guided me here grew stronger with time. Reincarnation echoes still whispered of greater threats in the future, of a call that would summon allies from the past. Everyone, I had told Superman, one day. I feared I would need them all. But it was the moons that changed everything. Namek's 2 moons created difficulties for me far beyond what I might normally have expected, because they were full more often than I liked. The first time it happened was less than a month into my new life on Namek. The Blutz waves hit me like a tidal wave. My body swelled, fur erupted, and the world turned red with rage. I became the Ozaru, a towering ape that increased my power 10 times over. But with almost no control, I rampaged across the plains, smashing pillars of stone, roaring at the sky, and nearly leveling a small village before Nail and a team of warriors managed to contain me with barriers and sleep-inducing techniques. When I woke up in my normal Scion form again, naked and exhausted in a crater of my own making, Nail was waiting. He didn't look angry. Instead, he seemed almost thoughtful. I curled in on myself, my tail wrapping around my legs. I lost control. Completely. I could have killed people. You could have, he agreed. But you didn't. And that tells me something important. He sat beside me on the grass, that you were fighting it. Whatever it is that causes that transformation, it is a part of you, Jinjera. It's my tail, I admitted. So long as I have it, I'll always transform at a full moon. It's probably safe if we just cut it off. He shook his head and looked at me sternly. Your tail is a part of you. Cutting it off would be like cutting off an arm because you're afraid of what the hand might do. We don't do that here. Instead, you will learn to master it. I stared at him. In the stories I remembered, Vegeta and others had their tails removed to avoid this exact problem. Nail's approach was different. He saw the Ozaru not as a curse to amputate, but as my literal inner monster. One that needed taming, not exile. From then on, every full moon cycle, Nail flew me to the far side of the planet. He'd take me to a desolate, rocky region with no villages for hundreds of miles. There, under the twin silver orbs, he let the transformation happen. At first, it was pure chaos. I would wake up hours later surrounded by shattered stone and craters, my voice hoarse fro roaring. Nail would be waiting, sometimes bruised, always patient. Next time, he would say. Remember who you are when the beast rises. Over the years, the training evolved. He taught me to focus on a single thought before the change. I am me. He used key barriers to limit my rampage, forcing me to fight the rage instead of the landscape. Slowly, I began to retain flickers of consciousness. The ape still roared and smashed, but sometimes I could steer it. A roar became a warning instead of mindless fury. A swing of the massive arm could be pulled back at the last second. By the 10th year, I could stay aware for longer stretches. By the 15th, I could partially direct the Ozaru's movements, channeling its immense power into deliberate, if clumsy, attacks against training boulders instead of everything in sight. Nail never let me near inhabited areas during these nights. He stood watch, sometimes sparring with the giant form using his full speed and precision to keep me occupied. "You're not fighting the monster," he told me one dawn as I reverted, panting and covered in dust. "You're learning to be the monster. The Ozaru is your scion heart made flesh. Deny it and it owns you. Master it and it becomes your greatest weapon." I nodded, wiping sweat from my face. My tail ached from the transformation strain, but I kept it. The Kryptonian side of me helped in this as well. The solar energy I absorbed seemed to stabilize the Blutz wave overload somewhat, letting me recover faster and retain more awareness than a pure scion might. Still, the rage was real. It was me, amplified. By year 20, I could hold a conversation in Ozaru form. I could suppress the urge to smash everything and instead focus on power output. Nail watched with quiet pride as the giant ape sat cross-legged and meditated under the moons. "You've turned your curse into another physical state," he said. "Your mastery over the Ozaru reflects the mastery over your own inner self. You've conquered your instincts and are now a true warrior." "I had help," I replied, the deep Ozaru voice rumbling across the empty plains. "A teacher who didn't see me as broken, or a monster, or a threat to be put down." The villagers eventually learned of these nights, of course. Some were terrified at first, but Nail's steady presence and the fact that I consistently returned in control enough to not harm anyone built trust. I became a protector even in my monstrous form, once using the Ozaru's strength to divert a massive flood from a village during a rare storm. One clear morning, Nail approached with unusual gravity. "The Grand Elder wishes to speak with you now that you've mastered the beast inside you." Guru. The name carried weight even in my memories for what the Elder Namekian could do. I nodded as my heart skipped a beat. "Lead the way." The journey to Guru's home took most of the day. We flew across vast landscapes, crossing over emerald plains that gave way to rocky highlands and shimmering blue-green lakes. Nail remained quiet, respecting the anticipation I couldn't hide. Guru's dwelling was a massive stone structure. As we entered, I laid eyes on him for the first time. The Grand Elder was enormous, ancient, and his very presence radiated calm wisdom and immense latent power. Several attendants hovered nearby, including Yu Dende, who watched me with wide eyes. "So," Guru rumbled, his voice like shifting earth, "Jinjera, you have learned to master your inner monster. This is a remarkable feat, one deserving of recognition. Please, approach me, child." I stepped forward, bowing respectfully. Up close, his gaze pierced through me, seeing not just my physical self, but the layers of lives potential inside me coiled like a spring, and the beast I had now integrated into myself instead of losing control. "You have walked many paths," he said softly, surprising me, "and you carry the weight of more. Yet here you stand, protector of my people, rage overcome and spirit tempered." "It's been a difficult road," I admitted. "Nail has taught me well in controlling my ki and my inner beast." Guru chuckled, a deep, resonant sound. "Nail has done much, but now, I believe your hard work should be rewarded. It is time to unlock what still lies dormant within you. Your potential is vast. Are you ready?" I glanced at Nai, who gave a slight nod of encouragement. My tail flicked with excitement and nerves. "I am." The ritual was simple yet profound. Guru placed a massive hand on my head. Energy flowed through me. It was aggressive in the way Battle Key was, but warm, nurturing, like sunlight flooding every cell in my body. I gasped as layers peeled away inside me. Limits I hadn't known existed were stripped away. Reserves of power hidden even from my scion instincts were made known. Memories flickered in my mind that were carried by my scion blood of the true nature of my race, their true potential, and the many paths it could take when channeled in specific ways. The air around me hummed as something new yet undeniably familiar was made known to me. Deep cultural roots in combat, ki, and even magic. The Ozaru inside me reacted to the epiphany, and it roared within my soul. Power skyrocketed. My muscles tightened, my senses sharpened. The world seemed brighter. Every blade of grass hummed with life energy. I could now touch more deeply. My Saiyan blood roared with joy and growth. When Guru withdrew his hand, I staggered back, breathing hard as I looked at my hands in awe of the new strength I understood I could wield now. What was that? Your potential unleashed, Guru said with a smile. You are now a true warrior of Namek. Use your power wisely. I flexed my fingers, feeling the raw energy crackling beneath the surface. My ki control was sharper, my body sang with power, and the Ozaru. The Ozaru was no longer something I would become. I realized something in that moment that surprised me. I could take the Ozaru into me, becoming something more instead of letting it change me into a base, great ape. I didn't know how much longer this world would be peaceful for, but I decided right then that would begin training to do exactly that.